All right.
People had a
I'm afraid we should probably dial in the audio because I've got my phone sitting in a coffee mug so that it's at a different height, but I'm wondering if the audio is going to be completely reverberating because of the way the microphone is set up. Okay, let me go grab some headphones. Hang on. Let me see if this will work.
Okay, how about now? Okay.
I think that's good. Clean up some stuff here. All right. Welcome, friends. So, Brian, you were asking me questions about my process of doing something.
Yeah, I was asking you about running for president because it seems like there's probably a handful of us out there that when we hear somebody who's living in the desert, no money, just surviving, that when we hear that you're running for president, we don't know how to think about it. And I think what he's saying is that he's running for president really means he's trying to live the life that he wants to live and he's going for it.
You're like, you're running for president. Maybe you should run your survival first.
It's kind of like you're saying,
Because people
I'm
know.
running. It's kind of like you're saying, I'm running 100 miles today. And everybody's like, well, there are people that can run 100 miles, but we notice you're still sitting in the chair.
Well, I believe in infinite potential.
Yeah,
So,
exactly.
like the laws for running for president are be born in America, be past a certain age, like 32, and that's it. So I'm qualified. Like if you want to get a job as an engineer, they want you to have an engineering degree. Do you have any experience? There's no job requirements for president. Like
Right.
literally, any man or woman born in America past a certain age is allowed to run for president. So
Yeah.
I looked at the rules and I said, I qualify. Let's go for it. Now,
Yeah.
of course, I realize there's a lot of I'm doing a lot of unconventional things. Like when I was younger, and my dad told me I could run for president when I could be president someday, and I was age 12. All those years into my 20s and 30s, I'm like, someday if I'm rich, I'll run for president because rich equated to credibility.
Right.
And so I thought that was a requirement, was having money. However, a few things happened to me when I decided to run for president. I'm working at Safeway after a decent career of being a startup, and my life had imploded. I wasn't financially successful. Things were happening to me that I didn't expect. And then we got Donald Trump running for president. I'm actually more wealthy than Donald Trump because, like, now I know that sounds ridiculous, but he borrows all that money. He really probably couldn't, if he was to cash out, how much money would he really have? He's gone bankrupt 4 times. So it's not about the amount of money. It's about the value proposition you bring.
What does that mean? Bring it to.
It means your campaign promises. What are you going to do for America during your term? Like Obama's big promise was universal health care, no preconditions, something like that. And he kind of did deliver on his campaign promise. One would say that Donald Trump didn't deliver on his campaign promise of the wall or draining the swamp. So, like, I could say, I'm going to come up with free college for everybody, and that could be my one thing, for the whole term. Well, I have many ideas. So I have on my website, Lambright.com, I list all the things I think I can accomplish during my term. It doesn't mean, well, some people said, well, I don't like some of the things you want to do, Wayne. And are you willing to let go of them? Or like if somebody, I want to give you money, Wayne, but I don't like your idea about this, would you drop it? And the answer is probably yes.
I'm for sale, in other words.
My ideas,
As the
like
president, I'll have an eBay listing. Wayne, your favorite idea, please make your bid now.
Well, they're just ideas. So most presidents get one or two things done, and I've got a list of 50 things. So if I get 25 big ideas done, I've now done two things divided 25. That's 1,250% more productivity than other presidents.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it comes down to, what will that president accomplish in 4 years? What will they actually get done for America? Joe Biden promised to fix the bridges and the roads. He didn't. We still got bad bridges and roads.
I'm going to put a hard stop in 20 minutes. So what do we want to accomplish, or nothing, in 20 minutes? That's what I'm open to.
Nothing. We're just going to talk.
Just chat. So
Brian wants to have ideas. He wants to make money, but he doesn't want to, he has trouble bringing things to market, like coming through with his idea. And I told him, well, you just need to start the Brian Ball fan club. And for $12 a month, you get to listen to Brian's ideas and know that you're supporting him and keeping these ideas flowing. It's like, Brian and I have always been brainstorming. We're like sailors out on the bay in our sailboat, saying, like, can you believe what a gorgeous day it is? Like, look at the wind, and the spray of the water is in our face, and we're having ideas. We're out there sailing, having fun. Wayne, let's open up a hamburger store. Oh, that's a great idea. Let's open a taco stand. That's a great idea. And when we pull into shore, we say, see you later, buddy. And we don't think about those ideas.
Thanks for the ideas that it went with the wind.
It's like tennis. It's tennis with ideas. And we're bouncing
really
balls.
Like.
Yeah.
It's an exercise.
There's no commitment. There's no failure. There is
it's
success.
It's an exercise, and it's a game, that sort of thing, right?
Right. We're just brainstorming. I have this book called Serious Creativity, and Edward De Bono, and he says, well, there's brainstorming, where you're in a boat in the ocean and it's a storm. You can't control where your boat is going. So wherever the waves and the wind take you is where you go. And he says, how about brain sailing, where you control exactly where the conversation is going with your ideas? So he's saying, take away the randomness of brainstorming and go towards controlling the ideas more with brain sailing.
Do you think, do you have a certain time of day when you have the best ideas?
Never. There's nothing normal about my life. Like, it's surfing. Like, it's idea surfing. You surf when the waves are there.
Yeah, but surfers know when the waves are going to be there. They know how to pay attention to the surf.
I used to be a surfer. You think there might be waves there, but I mean, before
there's surf reports. There's high tide, low tide, whichever one's better for surfing.
Yeah. Low tide is the best time for the waves.
Okay.
In the morning, you got the glassy waves.
Yeah.
Like, not many people go surfing in the afternoon because it's blown out.
Okay.
But it could be. That means it's choppy waves. However, since the conditions are crummy, there's no competition. So you don't mind surfing big crummy waves by yourself.
I see.
Uh-huh.
So what are as you live in the desert, I know when I talk to you, you're like, it's beautiful out here. It's, You know,
Mhm.
you always try to have a very positive attitude, but it must be difficult. So, what are some things that maybe were very difficult a year ago, but have gotten easier now that you figured it out a little bit?
Yeah. I think I got answers, but all living conditions are difficult. If you live in an apartment complex, you've got neighbors to deal with. That's difficult.
Yeah.
So I got the snakes are the biggest problem here, the rattlesnakes, because they can kill you and they're camouflaged, so they do look like the sand. So unless you're really paying attention, yeah. And they've given me some good scares. I've killed 17 rattlesnakes in the last 2 years. Um,
Wow.
but now I am completely on my game. When I open my door to go out, I'm like looking for snake. Is there a snake coiled up right where my foot would go down? So I'm
Hmm.
totally. I even had a rug out there that was orange. It was a different color.
Yeah.
So if a snake was on it, it would stick out. Um, and now that I've learned, I've been here 2 years and 4 months or 5 months. I'm not drunk, by the way. Um, they're April and May. That's when the snakes come around. So that's hard. The other hard thing is the harshness of the summer. That first
Yeah.
summer, I didn't have air conditioning, so I was in and out of the a, a water. It's called a stock tank, which is a fancy name for a water bucket for horses or cows. And it's
Yeah.
110 gallons. And I filled that up with water, and I would bounce in and out of it like 10 times a day to lower my body temperature.
Wow.
Um, So that was the hardest. Now I had air conditioning last year on solar, and that actually made it really nice. There were some days it was like 100. I'm like, I guess I'll turn on the air since I got it. Like I still wasn't suffering.
Yeah.
Like I'm not turning on the air at 90 degrees. I'm waiting till it gets to 100 because like my body became acclimatized. Uh-huh. I do have a swimming pool that's 10 foot by 2 foot. That's nice. I'm kind of tired of it though because I don't get to have a. I want to have a garden. A garden is really. I like the smell of the garden. I like the bugs that come to a garden. I like watching everything get bigger every day. It's
Hmm.
a giant experiment. It's like having 100 babies at once.
I remember you had a pretty green thumb. You were always growing something.
Yeah. So I like tomatoes. I want to grow a salad garden.
Mm.
And maybe like I like eggplant. Maybe some eggplants. And zucchinis are good. You know, they grow really well with not much effort.
Yeah.
Yeah. I really like the country life. Like, mm, yeah, I do. I like the country life. I'm not sure if I almost want to say I want to have a milk cow because I love milk and I love cream. Um, chickens are nice. Yeah, just having a country life is actually pretty fun. It's pretty entertaining. Yeah. I also love our online community here. Like, it's so much fun. Hey, sleazy writer down there in the chat. I got a lot of friends. 10 people will usually show up to my videos. So, running for president, even though I did everything wrong, like I still haven't filed my federal election paperwork. I gave myself all the drama of running for president, stalkers, angry people, trolls, but I also got supporters.
Yeah. So you
Oh,
got
wait a
what you
minute.
needed.
Yeah, I got what I wanted, and I got validation for my ideas.
Hmm.
And I feel like some of my ideas have been copied by other politicians. So
Of course. Why
if
why
I'm
not
not
take great
elected,
ideas?
it doesn't matter. My ideas are coming to life.
Yeah.
So yeah, like for when I started out, I really wanted to push the hand of anti-gravity. I believe the government knows about anti-gravity, but they're not mentioning it. But I
Hmm.
didn't know how anti-gravity worked. Now I do know how it works. So 4 years ago or so is when I learned how it works. And I haven't built Wayne's anti-gravity. That's about to happen because I'm getting this money. So I will have the ability to do it. It's not expensive. I just need the time. So
Yeah.
this small inheritance I'm getting is going to give me the time to do it. And that's super exciting for me. So I think I'm going to keep my toes in the startup world, the startup water, of being an entrepreneur. And I'm going to be focusing on my anti-gravity and maybe electrical power generation. Those are the
Right.
two major things I want to do. Also, today I was talking about doing kind of like entrepreneur startup camp where I have an idea and it goes into a spreadsheet. It says how much money you think you'll make in a year, how much investment capital, how many hours from me, and then how much it'll make per month. And then it translates it into how many dollars per hour I'm making.
Right.
So when you have an idea, put it into the spreadsheet and you'll be like if I want to open a pizza place, can I make 1,000 a day? Let's say I work 10 hours, then that's $100 an hour. And that's 30,000 a month. So can I make 30,000 a month with a pizzeria? I don't know. Maybe I think that's true. And then somebody who grew up in a pizzeria, they're like, oh, that will never happen, Wayne. That would never work. Nobody ever does those numbers.
Mm.
So anyways, I love ideas are great, but if you might learn that, oh, there's no money in this. So why would you do it? Because you got bills to pay.
Yeah, right.
There is gold where I live, and my neighbor has a gold mine, a lodi where they drill into the rock and use explosives. And he says, well, we found it not to be profitable. And I'm sure that's true for when they were doing it. And maybe gold was only 300 an ounce then. But now gold is 2,200 an ounce. Things are different.
Right.
I think I can build a gold magnet. Physics says it's not possible, but I've already seen it working.
Yeah.
So I could have a river of water with sand, gold bearing ore going through a water slurry, and then magnets on both sides, and the metals, including iron and nickel and platinum and silver, would all stick to my magnet, including gold. And then I could take those magnets out and clean them off and then put them back. So to use a magnet on a slurry of gold bearing ore doesn't exist. And so that idea right there would change the whole gold mining industry in a huge way, because right now, well, it would still need to be pulverized dirt. So it doesn't get rid of ball crushers or stamp mills and rock crushers. You can get a gold out of rocks through leaching of sulfuric acid. So basically, if I had processed rock that was down to powder, I could put it through the gold magnet. It would be nearly the equivalent of mercury.
Mm.
It'd be a game changer.
Gotcha. So do you think it doesn't exist because you know of everybody that's mining gold and they're just not publishing it on YouTube about how they do it?
If you talk to somebody in physics and say, I made a gold magnet, they'll say, no, you didn't. Because gold's not magnetic.
I started watching a YouTube video this morning when I woke up in the middle of the night, and it was a guy turning styrofoam cups into cinnamon candy.
That's weird.
Using chemistry.
So so styrofoam, I didn't really know that's editable.
It's not. It's poison you.
So he's getting rid of the poison, and what's left over is part of the cinnamon.
Chemistry is like, building blocks.
Yeah.
And so he's saying, I noticed that there's this chemical styrene, which is what polystyrene is. It's a collection of these styrene molecules. He says polystyrene is just many styrene put together. And
Right.
styrene looks a lot like this flavor that we call cinnamon. It's missing this one little, atom or molecule that's got hydrogen and a couple oxygen and something else, some sort of connector. And he says, if I ostensibly I should be able to rework the chemistry to get it down to the building blocks and rebuild it back up over here as
Mhm.
cinnamon candy. So that's pretty interesting.
It would be funny if he ships it in styrofoam.
Just add water. Just add linoleic acid and you have yourself cinnamon candy.
Yeah, you're right. Like, so chemistry is everything to be known about chemistry still hasn't been found. There's so much unknown. Like chemists are inventing new drugs, like when they invent new pharmaceuticals, that's chemistry, right?
Yep.
They're building chains of chemicals that somehow react with the body in a way that they view to be positive.
Mm-hmm. Or at least profitable.
Yeah. So when I say there is no gold magnet, you can't go to the marketplace and buy a magnet for gold.
Yeah.
But you can buy a metal detector.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's kind of neat. Like, well, why is like so like the people who think gold magnets don't exist, well, then why does it show up on a metal detector? And they're like, well, I don't know. Because what's happening is it's the reverse. It's basically part of the gold magnet. The metal detector is sending out a high voltage signal. And so gold is not magnetic at low voltage. It's the high voltage that makes it magnetic. So the high voltage metal detector sends out a high voltage pulse. The gold induces electricity, makes a magnetic field, which is what the metal detector detects. And for some reason, the whole community is ignoring this simple observation.
Well, see, I hear that and I think, well, if I had a gold magnet and it was making me lots of money, would I keep it secret or would I talk about it?
I don't care. That's part of part of my sales technique is just to tell the truth.
Mm-hmm.
So like I just told people how anti-gravity works. Nobody went and built it. Steal my ideas. Go ahead. I don't care.
Well,
Like
but
if I have these
ideas don't
ideas, I'll
build
have more.
things. Ideas
Huh?
don't necessarily. Ideas don't always build working things.
Exactly. So there's no risk in me sharing an idea.
Yeah, but I'm saying
I've had a bunch of
if you had already invented the gold magnet and you were employing it profitably every day, would you go online and be like, "Hey guys, here's the 8 tools I bought at Home Depot to make my gold magnet, and here's where I'm using it."
no, I would patent my gold magnet and sell it. So I
Well, why? What if
intend
you were making $1,000 a day just spending an hour finding gold with your magnet? Are you going to worry about selling it?
that's not enough. No, of course, I want to be rich like everybody else.
Yeah, but $1,000 a day when you live off $1,000 a month, you're rich. You're already more than you
Well, I
need.
want toys. I want toys.
Any toy you can think of, you can get with $1,000 a day.
Um, well, I'm telling you, I want more than that. So,
What do you give me an example of what you want?
oh, well, it's just what I don't need it. It would be not. I mean, it would be nice to have money to do things, to build homes in different places, to have like a private jet or a private helicopter, private anti-gravity. I want to start my own company. I want to hire people to run it. I kind of want to do what Elon Musk is doing, which is whatever he wants. If he wants to start a boring company, he does it. If he wants to sell a flamethrower, he does it. He wanted a car company. He said he designed the cars for something he wanted to buy. So he's doing what he wants.
Yeah.
And
He's
I'm
trying
doing
to
what I
get
wanted to.
he's trying to get what he wants because I think you're also doing what you want, which is different than trying to get what you want.
Well, I tried to get what I want for many years and it didn't work out. But I'm still trying to get what I want.
Yeah.
I haven't so it's like saying I'm trying to get a bullseye. Well, have you considered looking at the target when you shoot the arrow?
have you considered loading up an arrow? Have you
Like, have you
considered a
considered
string on your
aiming?
bow?
Like, open your eyes.
Have you considered going to the archery range?
Yeah, it's like, like I shoot for the moon. People are like, a BB gun won't make it to the moon, Wayne. Don't ruin it for me.
Yeah. Don't don't project your truth onto me. Don't project
Yeah.
your physics onto my reality.
Like, you have to do something that only you believe in. Like, don't let anybody tell you no. If you have a dream and you think you can do something, then try. Like, because you might succeed, but you won't. You miss 100% of the shots you never take.
But
So
it's
if
not
you
even,
think
you don't even need the success. Because if you want to go on a journey, it's the journey part that you're after. It's not the
right, like
destination.
people are like, you're not successful, Wayne. You're living in the desert, poor as a church mouse. I'm like, I'm successful for me. I'm happy. I'm not displeased.
Yeah, but you're also doing things that 99.9% of at least people we know wouldn't be willing to do. So you're doing something that people aren't willing to do, which sets you apart.
Right. I call this the Robinson Crusoe experience. I mean, I'm not sure if other people had this, but I kind of like watched Robinson Crusoe and I'm like, I wish I could be shipwrecked.
Yeah, like what was that movie with Tom Hanks, Survivor or Shipwrecked or
Castaway.
Castaway? Yeah.
Castaway. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
Yep.
you kind of like, I don't know if it's a midlife crisis thought. It's like, I hate my life. I wish I could be accidentally stranded. So I was guilt free. Like, well, why'd you go to the island? Well, I didn't have a choice and I just did my best to survive. But like if you make the choice to go live on the island, then they think you're crazy. But
Yeah.
you're just tired of society and you're choosing to just do something different.
Yeah.
Um, like life in the desert would be totally different without internet. Since I have internet, it's a series of uncomfortable weather events.
Right. It's
I really like.
it's a series of uncomfortable weather events. And the occasional drunk weekend.
Yeah.
Is the drunk weekend, like let's say Saturday, is the drunk Saturday preparation for the week to come or celebration for surviving the week prior?
Neither. It's just a drunk day. It's
It's
just,
just Saturday. It's just, it is what
well,
it
I got
is.
these new neighbors who
It's the
bought a
day with
piece
the
of
beer.
property. Yeah, like these neighbors gave me the beer. They
Yeah.
gave me 34 beers. They bought a $2,000 piece of property with $10,000 of garbage on it. So now they got to clean it up. So they're cleaning it up.
Well, how
I
much did
went for
they
a
pay? Did they pay 2,000?
$2,000. 2,000.
So they have to actually
Well,
spend a lot of money to get rid of that stuff, or in time
well,
at
they
least.
didn't know. They didn't know that was going to be the case. But
They
they're
just bought
not.
it online and just said, "Here."
I didn't learn how they bought it. But they bought it a few years ago for a few $1,000s.
Okay.
And it was just for owning for later kind of thing. And
Yeah.
then the everybody got the cleanup bill. And I went in my evening walk. I walked by their house to kind of see what they'd done, and I found a new hammer on the ground. So I thought, oh, he must have forgot his hammer. So I sent them a text message because we exchanged numbers, and I said, I think I found your hammer. And they're like, oh yeah, thank you. I said, it's at my house, so next time you're here, let me know and I'll give it back, or I can put it in at your property in the trailer for you. They're like, no, just keep it. It's safer. And then
Yeah.
they said, Saturday morning, I, uh, we're coming out today. And I'm like, oh, well, if you could stop by Walmart and buy me $20 worth of Budweiser, that'd be great. They're like, she says, ETA 5 minutes.
Yeah.
So they were nearly here, and they had brought me beer.
Yeah.
So and they brought me 2 burritos
Right.
and this Mexican bread with
Nice.
some raisins. Super nice people. So I'm super grateful for that. So it was an impromptu drunk weekend.
Dang. You gotta take advantage of it when it's when the how's that saying go? When the make hay while the sun shines. Yeah, strike while the iron's hot.
Strike while the iron's hot. Yeah. Make hay while the sun shines.
I like that other one though. It's like strike the iron enough to make it hot.
But you can't
That's more like work.
Well, you can't turn cold iron into red hot iron by hitting it.
If you hit it enough, you could fast enough.
I'm not sure that's true. I mean, it would become hot because the molecules are moving. Maybe. I've seen friction welding where they take a two round things and they spin it together and then it gets hot enough to weld it together.
Wow.
It's called friction welding. So Brian, you've got ideas. What's holding you back from taking something to market?
The main thing is I spend time programming, and then I'm programming, and I'm having fun, and I'm working with these new AI tools to like do a lot of the work for me, and I'm getting something live, and then I think, okay, I could launch this, but then I'm worried that I won't be reliable to the customers if they buy it. So let's say I put something out there for $20 and it requires
Turn
any of
on
my
your light. Turn on your circle light real quick so we can see your face more.
it's not configured to be turned on quickly because it needs the app and everything.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I could open some.
Well, it's more like light coming from the direction of the camera.
How about that?
Yeah, that's going to work. Exactly. Good job.
Yeah, so the main problem is realizing in the development of the project process that I can't, or I don't want to do the kind of business sometimes that it's kind of like realizing you're building a bakery. You're building something that bakes bread, and then pretty soon you realize, oh, I'm just going to be a baker. I don't want to just be a baker.
Yeah. Okay.
In other words, you got to put on your business hat and do customer service and sales and marketing. And I ask myself, do I want to be marketing and selling this particular project? And I usually lose. Your
ego doesn't want to be a baker. So like,
yeah,
it's really your ego because it's not about the money.
Oh, it's just my ego.
What does your ego want?
What does my ego want? My ego wants to build something that is like something that works on its own without requiring daily input from an operator. So I don't like, I had a business before where every day I had to go out and talk to other software people and say, hey, you want to make a deal? Let's put your deal up on my website. And I never built it in a way that it was automated and would allow people to list their own stuff on there. That was the play that has made other people a lot of money, but I didn't have the idea, or I didn't have the focus enough to do it or whatever. And so I just don't want to just create a job for myself that's going to be so consuming that I can't spend time building other things. Because, just like if you get a job, let's say you're delivering even for Instacart or Uber or something, anytime you don't have an order that you're fulfilling, you're not making any money. And so a lot of times running a business yourself is a lot like that. You've got to be out, convincing people that your product's better than other things that they could be spending their money on.
So you're like a founder who just wants to start the company, then hand it off to somebody else later. And they just kind of give you updates of how things are going. You want the company to go big and go public, but you want to have the baby, you just don't want to nurse it to life.
Yeah, it would probably be better partnering with somebody who loved doing that kind of a work. And then I could hand them off the idea. They could build the thing, they operate it, and then I get back to doing other stuff.
Mm-hmm. So maybe we should build a website for these personalities. Like I'm the birthing mother. You're a surrogate where I have the womb. Your idea is the seed. And, so it's like co-birthing an idea, like co-founders, like let's start a company together because I have these skills that you don't. So I can get us to the first year of business and productivity. And with that money, we'll hire the people to fine tune it past my skills and desire.
Yeah, that's an okay idea. I think what'll happen pretty quickly, it'll be like a single mother situation where the mother goes, "Oh, I don't need the seed guy around. I've already got the thing, and they own it,
Well,
and they're doing all the work. So they're like, what do I need to cook dinner for the seed guy and give him any of the money because he's not
well,
doing
that's
anything?
where a partnership agreement makes sure that doesn't happen. So you have
Well,
very clear.
how does it work when the person you got this agreement and the person's like, oh, yeah, I agreed to that, but I'm just not going to do it.
It's called failure to perform. So when the founder doesn't want to do the job anymore, that they have to be replaced with somebody who does, and that comes out of the founder's money.
It feels like speed limit signs.
Well, basically,
In
another
other
way
words,
to say it,
a law exists and you can definitely sign a contract and agreement, but are you really going to try to pursue litigation?
you're right. So you might have to hire an attorney to do that. And
Yeah.
then
Have
as
you
soon as
ever
you hire
you've
an
dealt with
attorney,
attorneys? How fun is that?
no fun.
I would venture to say that they can actually ruin your life spending time with
They
attorneys.
will. They will. Um, so basically, both part. So if a partner says, "I'm just not going to do this anymore," and they abandon their job role, then in the agreement they have a clause that says the first person to abandon gives it all to the other founder.
Yeah, that's fine. And like if the guy is willing to give you the code or whatever, or you gave him the code or whatever. Anyway, what I'm just saying is it's not the fact that an agreement exists between people is as old as time, but that's another thing that I'm trying to avoid is getting into agreements with people who the chances is so high of it not working out. It just seems like a waste of time. So I'm projecting into the future, like, yeah, there's a high chance that this won't work out. So
Sure.
it's easy to abandon it.
A partnership, you plan for the end in mind. It's like a marriage. You plan for the divorce when you get married.
Exactly.
So
So
in the partnership, somebody's always going to die. How do you plan for the death? Does the spouse get to take over the husband's role? Does it force the sale? So do they force an evaluation of the company at $1 million? Then the other guy owns the other partner's spouse, the $500,000
right.
for his contribution.
Yeah. So
That's all
notice
normal business. Wait, hold on. It's all normal business that you're just not familiar with. And attorneys, that's their whole job in life is to prepare these partnerships with all this known conditions up front. Like if you start a drug habit and you're not showing up to work and nobody's doing your job and the company's suffering, either we replace you with a qualified person, we don't know where the money's coming from, and then we have to pay them at a year half. And then if you completely abandon it, you're going to forfeit your ownership to the other guy.
it
Like
sounds
we
like
can
you know
make
what you're talking about.
well, we can make any agreement we want, and so both people are like, okay, there are consequences for abandonment, and maybe you don't want to go into that agreement because you have trouble, you know, following through because you get bored easy.
Yep. It sounds like you understand the problem.
Yeah. So Brian wants to work together, or he doesn't want to work. He wants to do his own thing. How do you do something on your own terms?
Right.
I think
That's
subscription. I think I don't commit to anything Brian Idea Channel. I still think
I
that's the
think
way to
you're
do it.
doing it the exact right way. You open YouTube, you go live, that's it. You're
Yeah,
doing
we
what
didn't
you're
rehearse
willing
it.
you're doing exactly what you're willing to do, no more, no less.
Yeah,
That's the answer. And
yeah,
I think that's the thing that people who show up to your channel, if they can extract any one thing, that's what I'm extracting, even though I don't show up and watch your lives, for 4 hours at a time. But I think that's the value that I would get is that Wayne knows how to do what he wants to do.
that's right. And it's basically don't put so much of don't care what others think as long as you're enjoying yourself.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
me getting drunk on stream, I'm sure all kinds of people go, Is he lost his mind? Why would you do that? Because I don't like you lean. It's the book, The 4-Hour Work Week, where he says you need to go to Starbucks and lay on the ground for
But I
like
think the
2
people who
minutes.
show up here show up because they know you've lost your mind, and that's really what they're here for. Wouldn't you? Wouldn't you agree?
I've lost the willingness to conform to normal conventions.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think it's losing my, I know what's right and wrong. I'm just not willing to act in the way people want me to act.
Yeah, you're not an actor.
Yeah. I mean, I'm enjoying myself. And also, we don't know where the next fun idea is going to come from or the next inspiration. And as a politician, I need to be authentic with people. Like, I'm real and America's really fucked up. And we don't need more liars. If we keep voting for the same guys, we're just going to get another old fart liar. I think I'm a better value proposition because I'm authentic. So I'm trying to show them what authenticity really looks like. I mean, it's real. Like, you meet me in person, it's the same guy you saw in the video.
Yeah, but even a little bit more intense, and you'll probably get a burger out of the deal.
Yeah. Mm.
All right, good live. Thanks for getting me live. This is my first live, by the way.
Oh, congratulations.
Thank you.
Yay.
Broke my virgin status.
That's right. Well, and you can do this with any of your friends.
Crazy.
Yeah. Okay, so we're signing off.
Yeah, let's sign off. Thanks everybody for showing up. Charles Smith, Drift Speed, Sleazy Rider.
Yeah. All right, guys. Have a good one. Bye-bye.
Thanks, Wayne.
Thank you, Brian.